Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of the 504 Core Podcast. I'm Corey Rholdon, joined by Michael Foret. And Mike, guess what, buddy? It's football season. We're here. The New Orleans Saints and the rest of the NFL teams made their cuts from 90 players to 53 players yesterday. Uh, a few interesting notes on that. I loved how the Saints do this. The Broncos are doing the same thing. Rico Payton deserved the roster spot just because he went to a Division two school, was an undrafted free agent. You know what? He balled out, so he earned that spot. So it was good to see him get that roster spot. I just what your overall takeaways of preseason. Obviously we can talk about Spencer Rattler and Trevor Penning, but overall, what's your takeaways?
Yeah, I mean, everyone wants to talk about Rattler, right? For preseason, that was like talk of the town. That was the main focal point of preseason for Saints fans. Is can Rattler prove to actually be a franchise quarterback? So, um, yeah, I don't know if he really proved it or not. He didn't look bad per se, but I don't think whatever. Even if Rattler completed 100% of his passes, had 20 touchdowns and 1,000 yards, it wouldn't have mattered. I think the Saints are so heavily invested in Derek Carr that whatever he did, I wouldn't say become irrelevant, but it really is more about solidifying that second backup spot. So, I think the Saints had a couple of players that jumped off at you in the preseason. Rico Payton definitely did. I mean, I think he's one of the highest graded corners in all preseason. He definitely made a lot of plays. I mean, if you're a rookie DB and you're making plays, you're probably going to make the roster. These cheap contracts. So, I mean, if he makes the roster, I mean, you're going to have like five or six cornerbacks deep. Just it, the overwhelming question is like, what do you do with Lattimore? Do you keep him? You trade him? There's a lot of things you can do there. So, yeah, Rico Payton. I was watching Trevor Penning a lot. He struggled the first game. He seemed to piece it together a little bit more. I've kind of said it before. I think he's the X factor on this season. If he struggles, then the whole line's going to struggle. So, um, yeah, it was just interesting. It was more. It wasn't really more. It wasn't really like watching the team as a whole. It was more watching individual players and then just kind of seeing who stands out randomly. But yeah, what were your thoughts?
It's about Spencer Rattler. He's the most entertaining, most interesting, most promising quarterback prospect the Saints have drafted in my lifetime. I'll say that, and it's not saying a lot, Mike, because
No,
we've
it's not
had
because they
Ian
don't draft
Book.
quarterbacks. Yeah,
Yeah, there's been Ian Book, Garrett Grayson, freaking. I mean, Jake Hayner. I'm trying to think who else. Who's the quarterback from Oregon State we drafted? I forgot his name already.
Sean Cannon or something like that.
Yes. Yeah. So I mean,
How the
that's
hell I
not,
know that? I will never know.
dude. That's it's not saying a lot, but he is an interesting prospect. He can move in the pocket. Um, he's also, like shown some ability to be an accurate passer. Really like that touchdown pass he had in the final preseason game. He kind of lofted up there, and it was a good touch. Over to Trevor Penning. Dude, this offensive line I think is going to be terrible. And here's my theory, Mike. The Saints' offensive line is rated the worst in the NFL. Are they the worst? Probably not. They're probably 29th, 28th. But it doesn't matter. Derek Carr struggled last year to get the ball out quickly, and he took a lot of hits. And if Carr continues to take a lot of hits, he's an old quarterback, and he's going to get injured. So Rattler or Hayner is going to get an opportunity this year to show what they got in the games because I don't see a scenario where Derek Carr is going to finish all 17 games.
Yeah, yeah. I think the left side of the line will be okay. I think Fuaga looked pretty good. He got hurt unfortunately. I mean, he's like you can't really afford to lose him. So they're almost running on fumes in a way. I think Fuaga would be nice. I don't know who's going to start at left guard. I have no idea. And then McCoy's one of the best centers in the league, and then Ruiz is an average lineman at best, and then Penning. So Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, there you saw what Derek Carr is when he has time. He's a completely different quarterback. Just pretty much any other quarterback that has time is much better. So Derek Carr is the kind of quarterback you get him flustered, the rest of the game's going to be a disaster. So the offense clicked at the end of the season. That was mainly because of the offensive line play. So I don't really know what to make of it. You just got to hope Trevor Penning just continuously gets better throughout the season. It seems like he's not a complete disaster in the run game. I don't know if that's I don't know if this is the kind of offense that's going to be like run the ball a lot and then big plays or like a lot of intermediary stuff. So I'm not sure. It wasn't really that impressive in the preseason, but I really wasn't expecting Kubiak to be showing a bunch of stuff in the
Yeah,
preseason.
let's see
So
what Kubiak does, man. I've been a Kubiak hater because he was terrible as an OC, the Broncos. And, this 1 year with the 49ers, when you're not calling plays, make you a good offensive coordinator candidate? No. But let's see what happens, man. I like what he's been doing with Taysom Hill. I'm excited to see the Kyle Juszczyk role with Taysom.
yeah, that was something
But
I
we'll
didn't
see.
mention. They were using him at running back. I love that. I thought that was really, really cool.
Yes.
Kind of surprised no one really thought of it, just considering he's played every position in the NFL. It seems like so.
Yeah. And
Next
dude,
up might be punter.
maybe outside linebacker too.
Yeah, who is their punter? I know they cut Headley. Thank God, he was terrible.
Dude, I was watching on Sunday, Mike, Blake Gilligan kicking bombs, and Will Lutz, continue to do Will Lutz things. What was the point of that last year?
Well, they
You
cut
had
didn't they?
two,
They cut it for $1 million cap relief. Wasn't that what it was?
yeah, but I don't know, man. Once you have
Yeah,
that,
Saints are
and it's the same
frustrating.
thing with Morstead, dude. Morstead was a top three punter in the NFL last year.
Yeah, where did he retire?
No,
Where is he at
he's
now? Did he
he's still
resign?
with the Jets.
I thought he resigned. I thought he was a free agent.
I thought he was with Hold on, let's see. Tell you right now, I'm pretty sure he's with the Jets.
I'm sure.
He was a
I'm
top three
sure.
punter in the NFL last year.
I'm sure he'd love to come back if Saints present him the
He's
opportunity.
38 years old, still playing for the New York Jets. There you go.
Okay.
He's played with the Jets the last couple of years.
He must have like re-signed because I remember him seeing like posting something or like re-signing or something. I don't remember what it was, but
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean,
I don't know. I don't know who their
he
punter is.
led the NFL in punting yards in 2023. For granted, he played for the Jets and they're punting a lot, but
Yeah, no, it's just unfortunate. I don't really know who their punter is at the moment. I haven't looked at the roster. I would
yeah,
assume they're
Ozzy.
probably just going to pick up somebody from a different team. I don't know. The 49ers punter, that dude. I don't know if he. They were like, I don't know if he's gonna make the roster. I'm like, damn, this dude didn't make the roster. He punted inside the 5 like 3 times. So
Uh huh.
maybe look at someone like that. I'm not sure, but yeah, Headley was not good. He didn't really even light it up in the preseason. So Blake Groupie, I don't know if he's gonna make it. Or if that guy Smith, they said he can kick bombs as well. So
He had a 65 yarder at Tulane at Yeoman Stadium 2 weeks ago.
yeah, so
Um,
I'm not sure. Saints are a mess. There's really no consistency anywhere except maybe the DB position. So, I mean, linebackers are solid too, but outside of that, there's a lot of question marks. I mean, you have no idea who your third receiver is. Quarterback's iffy. Offensive line's terrible. Running backs, you got Kamara who's declining, and then you don't even know after that what you got. Special teams is terrible. Linebackers are good. Secondary seems fine. Even the safety position, you don't even know your other safety is. So they just,
Mike, I got 7-10, 6-11 this year.
well, I mean, Vegas has it at 7.5. I actually talked to someone I know today. He's like, "What do you think of the Saints over under at 7.5?" I'm like if you were to bet that, I'd tease that down to 7, like whatever. So,
That's a
I
tough bet.
yeah, that is a tough bet. They're gonna have a good defense. It's gonna keep them in a lot of games. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if this is gonna be like a running offense and then big plays down the field, kind of control the clock and play good defense or whatever it may be. But I don't know what to make of this team. I guess we'll find. I mean, they're definitely not going to Super Bowl. We know that. It's more about like, can you win your division than make any kind of run or noise. So I don't know. I'm not pessimistic nor optimistic. I'm just gonna like go into the season knowing what this team is a wild card team at best. So yeah, just kind of is what it is.
Let's transition over to some positive news. The Tulane Green Wave start their season on Thursday, and the LSU Tigers will play the USC Trojans on Sunday in Vegas. Mike, you excited?
Yeah, I guess I should start off with that. I'm just excited for football in general to be back. We waited months. Yeah, the USC doesn't want to play this game. I don't know if LSU even wants to play this game. Yeah, I mean LSU's they take the
Lost
hardest schedules. Yeah,
four
four
straight
straight
season
openers.
openers.
Yeah, so I mean USC they're both pretty similar teams. Both are backups to Heisman winning quarterbacks, Miller Moss and Garrett Nussmeier. You know, both new defensive coordinators. Both have terrible defenses last year. I don't know really. I was talking to Zach about it last week. Like, I don't think USC's defensive lines like. I think LC should dominate them. They're much bigger. Um, I'm not sure. I'm not going to bet it. I've been burned a couple times just betting the openers for LSU. So I know the line was at like 6.5, and then it got down to like 4.5. So I think if LSU just like eliminates the big plays, I think they'll be fine. But easier said than done. I don't really know what to make of it. I haven't really watched USC tape, so I don't know. What do you think?
I would agree. Um, I'm I'm excited to watch Garrett Nussmeier. I liked him during the bowl game against a good Wisconsin defense. I like the way he controlled the line of scrimmage. I like his processor, as Sean Payton says. I want to see how this team does defensively. If they make any improvements, right? Um, but yeah, overall, Mike, I'm just excited college football's back. I think it's going to be a good game. I'm going to be at prime time on, you know, Thursday. The
Who's
Bison's,
their opener?
Buffaloes.
Who's their opener?
They might lose, bro. North Dakota State.
Ooh,
Um,
not an easy
it's
game.
an upset alert. That's an upset alert.
Is it even really that big of an upset? I mean,
Probably not, but it's gonna be a good game, man. Bison's, Buffaloes, about the same thing. So, uh,
what's the vibe in Colorado with Dion right now? It seems like it's kind of slowed
it's
down.
tense. It's
Yeah.
tense. It's kind of tense right now with him calling out the media. It's kind of like it's a put up or shut up year, right?
Well,
We'll see what happens.
everyone was on the Dion bandwagon last year with the media, and then as soon as he faces adversity, he starts calling people out. And it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's weird.
I got
I
to
don't know
say
what to
11
say.
Sports now. I can't say CBS.
Yeah, yeah, he is feud with CBS, so I don't know. It looks weird when Dion calls people out like that. People would love for him to be great, but if your team's struggling, then it just creates
Right.
storylines. So they're just doing
And
their
he's
job.
and Mike, he's good with us. Like you walk in, he asks you how you're doing, all that kind of stuff. So this ain't a hating on Dion, but I don't have any predictions for him this year. I mean, he can win 8 games, he can win 4 games, he can win 6 games. Um,
Have they allowed media at the camps at all, or not really?
yeah, for like 10 minutes.
That's it.
Yeah,
Damn.
dude, Air
What?
Force is very restrictive, but Colorado's more restrictive than Air Force.
I'm not surprised. Did you go out there at all, or not really?
No, I'm going Thursday. I'll be there Thursday or tomorrow.
That the Colorado's camp?
No, I'll be at their game.
Wait, their games tomorrow?
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit! I thought it was gonna be Saturday. Okay,
No,
interesting. Yeah. What's the line on that game? Let's see. Are they not even ranked? Are they?
no, they're not ranked.
That's why I didn't pop up in
But
my.
somehow they're the 15th best team in NCAA college football.
Who said that?
Huh?
They're the 15th best.
Any game in the NCAA college football game.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Not surprised. Let's see.
LSU's eighth. Missouri's not even in the top 25 and they won 10 games a year ago. All right. Let's go to line college football. tomorrow night. You got a couple of games tomorrow
10,
night.
10-point favorite. Colorado is.
Mm.
Tulane plays tomorrow night. I did not know
Yeah,
that.
that's what I said. They play Southeastern. They're going to start play three
I
quarterbacks.
thought these were Saturday games. Okay, all right.
Yeah,
Tulane's 27-point favorites. Wow.
dude, Tulane's been really good the last several years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not surprised. Yeah, 10-point. Do you think they're going to cover 10? Take the
I don't
plus
know.
10. All that said enough. Just take the
Look,
plus 10.
I'll be honest with you. I don't know.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I think Dion. I mean, what happens to Dion if? I mean, how secure is Dion's job if he like completely tanks again?
I think he's got one more year, but just because of the hype and the
Yeah,
exposure it's brought to Colorado. But
he's running like
I
a
would say, does Dion need this job? No, Dion's done everything. This is a guy who's won a Super Bowl, played in the World Series, now been a head coach at a Power Four school, and then he's also been a broadcaster on NFL. Like he's done everything. So does he need this after his sons go to the NFL? I don't know.
yeah. I mean, I don't. I would say like he would have some job security because he's like a good recruiter, but like his recruiting class isn't good. It's all transfers. Like it's a
He
very
doesn't.
like
He doesn't get young players.
yeah, it's a very inefficient way to do things. I yeah, he's known for a recruiter, yet he doesn't have a good recruiting class, and it's all transfers. So I'm not sure. I mean, the new landscape of college football is really interesting. I guess we'll see how it plays out. Um, I guess Shadur is like the number one quarterback in the draft, right?
Yeah, well, him or
Or
Carson
no,
Beck. I've seen a lot of Carson Beck. It's kind of back and forth.
Carson Beck. Someone else will emerge too. I feel like it always happens every year. So
20 years, or you'll have somebody stop out, but it's definitely not the Florida State quarterback now.
what other games are you excited for? Week one.
All right, I'll tell you right now, Mr. Foray. Let's go.
I mean, that 11 a.m. game was at Clemson, Georgia. That's obviously a
Yeah, that's gonna be fun.
banger.
Um, that's gonna be really fun. But let's go to the slate. Notre Dame, Texas A&M is gonna be a pretty fun one as well. I'm excited for that. I think Notre Dame's gonna beat Texas A&M. I really don't like Texas A&M, so that's fine by me, Mike. TCU Stanford. That's on Friday night, 8:30 kickoff. Ooh, that's a little interesting. Obviously, Clemson, Georgia, and
Miami,
then
Florida.
yeah, no,
Dude, have you looked at
Colorado
Florida's
State,
schedule?
Texas. Colorado's State's Texas could be intriguing for the first half. Um, Miami, Florida. Yeah, let's see what your buddy Billy Napier does.
Dude, have you looked at Florida's schedule?
It's brutal, dude. It's
It's
brutal. They
like
play like
Napier
nine
doesn't have
top
a
25
chance.
teams.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Napier literally doesn't have a chance.
yeah, that's brutal.
I don't know what their win total is, but it cannot be very high. I mean, you got Miami, Texas A&M, Mississippi State, UCF, Tennessee, Kentucky, Georgia, Texas, LSU, Ole Miss, Florida State. I get that Florida State game looks better now, but
Yeah, dude. Look, I mean, LSU, USC, Notre Dame, Texas A&M, Miami, and Florida, and then you got Clemson and Georgia as the games that I kind of looking out for. Did you agree with that?
yeah, I mean, it's a nice little slate. Usually week one's kind of dry. I feel like this is a little better. Penn State, West Virginia. Is West Virginia gonna be good this year? Do you know anything about West Virginia?
Dude, Minnesota, North Carolina is not going to be a bad game either. That's on Fox on Thursday.
I love these Thursday games. I guess they're getting them in before the NFL kicks in.
Yeah.
Let's
Yep,
see.
there you go, Mike. College football is back. I have LSU making the college football playoff as the 10th or 11th seed. I think Aaron Nussmeyer is going to be Aaron Nussmeyer, geez, is going to be a really good quarterback. I'm excited to see him. Um, yeah, dude, I'm just excited football is back. What about you?
Yeah, no, for sure. What do you think like Nussmeier's season is going to look like? I think he's going to have like a lot of stats, but it's also going to be mixed in with like
Picks. He's a
0.75 picks a
gunslinger.
game. Yeah, it's going to
Yeah,
be like a
he's
high
he's a
turnover rate.
gunslinger, man. There's gonna be some games where he throws 5 touchdowns and 2 or 3 picks. Right? He's not Josh Allen because he's not gonna be able to run the ball like that, but he's a gunslinger, man. He's
He's
gonna be
got an
chalky
arm
that
for
week.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now everyone's like, "Oh, he's Brett Favre." It's like, relax. But yeah, he should be. I think he should be pretty good. It seems like he's got the poise. Everyone's like, "Oh, he's lacking experience." I mean, he's played sporadically throughout the year, so
Yeah, his freshman year he started versus Arkansas. He's played in a couple of
played
games the last couple 2 years.
played in the bowl game. He balled out there. So
Yeah.
obviously, got a new coordinator. That'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, but it's
Um,
like the same offense.
yeah,
It's the same.
the co coordinators are always interesting to me too. Like,
Yeah.
how does
It's
that
two
play?
guys he knows. It's the same system.
Yeah. Um, what are your score predictions?
Let's go week one score predictions. All right, let's go. Tulane kills Southeastern, right? Lying down, roar. And then
Raw.
LSU 34, the USC Trojans. No, let's go LSU 41 because
Oh
USC can't play
wow.
defense. USC can't play defense. Like USC like 28 31.
I kind of want to say LC throws all over them, but I think they're going to run all over them. When I was looking at like, because there was a viral tweet that went on Twitter. It was like USC's like who's stopping this defensive line, and they listed all their like weights and shit. It was like 270, 260,
And
300,
they're
and they
showing
listed
how
yeah, and then they showed LSU's offensive line, and they outweighed every guy weighed them by like 30, 40, 50 pounds. It's like yeah, bro, like. And then you got Caleb Jackson, Josh Williams. I'm sure Emery will get some
Caleb
touches there.
Jackson's going to go off this year, Mike.
Yeah, I mean, LSU's got some backs. Josh Williams probably get like 10 carries. They'll probably give like 15 or 20 to Caleb Jackson, and then like a couple like random guys in there. I think they're going to run the ball a lot. I think they're going to be. It'll be interesting to see. It really will be, considering how close both teams are. So, yeah, I think that'll affect the score. Obviously, they want to keep their defense off the field. So I'm gonna say 31. 24. I want to say 20 though. 30, something like that. Yeah. I think
I
LSU
will
will
say
definitely.
this: LSU's
Yeah.
been terrible in openers, so like as I'm saying this, I'm hoping I'm not jinxing it.
No, I'm sure if LSU lose, I'm sure it's not going to be because of this podcast. So, um, yeah, I'm not sure. I think they'll run the ball a lot. I really do. Brian Kelly even kind of alluded to it. He's like, we're going to be a team that's going to run the ball, and like not many people really commented on that. So, kind of caught me by surprise. Um, yeah, I'm not sure, but I wish I knew the answers. But yeah, the line even dropped another half point, so a lot of late money is coming in on USC. I don't know how well their fans are going to travel to Vegas. I'm sure it'll be fine considering it's not that far of a drive. But you know, I don't know. I think LSU
Vegas, baby.
LSU should take
Road
care of it.
trip!
Yeah, yeah, that's what they're saying. People in California don't like football though, so we'll see.
See what
Uh,
happens.
they don't even realize they have two NFL teams. But yeah, kind of going back to the Saints for a second. What Carolina week one? What are you thinking there?
Better be a win, Mike. At home against the Panthers, dude. The Panthers, uh, they didn't have a first round draft pick. They really didn't get better much. Let's see how much better Bryce Young is. But you better beat the Carolina Panthers at home in week one, or the Spencer Rattler chants are really going to come out, Mike.
Yeah. I don't. Do you think there's any way Dennis Allen could get fired midseason? My friend was like, "Oh, he's going to get fired midseason." I know Coward.
Well,
I
the
know
thing
his
is,
predictions.
Mickey Loomis doesn't do that. Mickey
Exactly.
doesn't do that. He doesn't like instability, so he would just wait to after the season to fire him. But
Exactly.
if they start 1-7, I mean, I don't know.
No, it'll be more of like a personnel thing, like a player personnel thing, rather than a coach
Yeah,
that gets fired, in my opinion. But yeah, my kind of I saw Coward. He predicted that. I mean, it's not really a big prediction, but I was kind of thinking like I really don't think Mickey Loomis is like gonna be that guy. And there's really no benefit to firing him mid-season because if you suck, then just keep the suck train rolling and get a high first round pick. Like, what's the point of like meeting in
exactly.
the middle?
The
So there's
tankathon.
yeah, I mean, honestly, like there's literally no point. There's no benefit to firing him mid-season. It does show a little bit of instability, but everyone knows what Dennis Allen is. He needs to win. Dennis Allen needs to win 22 games in a row to be above a 500 coach. Bro, that is an insane stat. Like that's insane. I understand he had Terrell Pryor in Vegas, and he probably didn't have the best roster at the first time, but the roster's not bad per se, but he's had better rosters. He's got nothing to show for it. The offenses have been terrible. He's just like,
Dude, he's been a head coach in the NFL, Mike, for what, 6, 7 years now? You know how hard it is to be a head coach in the NFL?
yeah,
Like,
it's
and get
not
those
not easy.
jobs? And he's
Not
had it for
easy.
6 or 7 years?
Okay, so if Dennis Allen gets fired, I'm gonna throw out some names. Let's say Mike. Does Mike McDaniel survive if the Miami flops this year?
Yeah, dude, he's one of the best coach. Like, you do not let go of Mike McDaniels just because you have the fucking Chiefs. If they do that, they're stupid.
Dude, you just don't know. Like the Titans fired Vrabel. I feel like Vrabel's elevated the Titans the past like what X amount of years he's been there.
I would
So
agree. I would agree.
the
And
NFL is very volatile. Like you know,
I think it's dumb.
owners
Dude,
get
Mike
antsy.
McDaniels is a hell of a coach. Hell of
Yeah.
a coach.
Okay, so like Bill Belichick, Mike Vrabel. I'm trying to think who else would be like become possibly available. Like,
Dude, the Lions offense coordinator.
oh yeah, Ben Johnson. Okay, yeah, yeah. Ben Johnson, Belichick, Vrabel. Who you taking if you're the Saints?
Ben Johnson, Vrabel, and Belichick in that order.
You think Belichick's just kind of the game's moved past him a little bit?
I just think he's a 75-year-old head coach, and the Saints have a long rebuild, and he doesn't have time for a long rebuild.
Well, he's drinking from the nectar of youth with his girlfriend. His girlfriend's like 22 years old. Good for him. So, um, yeah, I mean, I think Vrabel, dude, he's just a badass. I'd love to have Vrabel.
Dude, I'm gonna cut off my nuts if we win the Super Bowl. That's what he said.
Vrabel said that.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's the kind of coach I want. Then I mean, yeah, bring in. I mean, Robert Sala if he flops, bring him as DC. I don't know, do something. But I would love. I just don't want a defensive minded head coach for our next coach. You know what I mean? Like they usually flop more than they succeed. Honestly, like
Dude, you draft Shador, you get Ben Johnson in there, you
dude,
get Robert Sala as your DC,
I
and
don't
you're
think
ready to
Shador's a
ride.
leader. I don't think Shador's a leader.
All right, Carson Beck then.
No,
There
I
you
don't want.
go.
Did you just draft Will Campbell? I don't want the Saints to like reach on a quarterback just because he's like, you know,
Your quarterback's the most important position in the NFL. And if you
I
could get a
agree,
young
but if you got
quarterback,
Trevor Penning letting guys in his face, 0.3 seconds after they get the ball, what good's a good quarterback? I'd rather just, I mean, if unless there's a good quarterback that emerges, but I'm not a really Shador or Carson Beck fan. Like, I don't think those guys are going to elevate a franchise from what I've seen. But like, if Will Campbell's there, just Fuaga, Will Campbell, those are like two pillars, like to anchor down your offensive line. You got McCoy. I don't know what happens to Ruiz, but um, just building the trenches. I don't know, man. There's gonna be a lot of stuff that happens this year. I feel like so. I don't know, but Vrabel would be fun. Ben Johnson would be fun. Yeah, exactly. Shador.
Shador.
God, yeah, I don't know about that. Yeah. What else we want to touch on football wise?
Um, what do you think of the new kickoff rule?
I don't mind it. Everyone's freaked out about it. It's like, oh, it looks weird. It's like I don't mind it. I don't know. It, I think of that. I mean, I think it's just one step closer to just eliminating it entirely. I mean,
Well, I think it's safe. I think they didn't like it
it's definitely
before that
safer.
because, well, it's also because there was nobody returning kickoffs.
Yeah, I mean, there's only one guy. Oh, I guess Cordell Patterson's up there too. But like, there's really only like one famous guy that like returns kickoff for touchdowns is or not Devery Henderson, Devin
Yeah,
Hester. So, there's and he's in the Hall of Fame. So they're really,
yeah.
you know,
But Mike, like the reason why they did that is because they were like, oh, the kickoffs just go in the back of the end zone every time now. There's no action with that play. So that's why
yeah.
they did it.
Well, where's the ball at? Is it the 30 or 25 now?
30.
If it, yeah, there's really no point in like even taking it back. I mean, they're like I said, they're just making it to the point where it's like you don't even need
Well,
to
no,
do it.
they're kicking it not in the end zone on purpose, so they have to return it.
Oh, gotcha. I see what you're saying. Yeah, I
So
mean
there's a lot more returns now than there were the previous years.
yeah, I mean it makes sense. Guys aren't getting a 15-yard head start running wise, so less collisions. So I don't know. What do you think of it?
It's fine. I'm just kind of sad about onside kicks going away. I'm
Yeah, that
usually
I guess that's the
supposed.
biggest like bugaboo is like you have to declare an onside kick. Like that's so stupid.
I do declare.
I do declare. Yeah, no, that is so dumb. I guess that's the biggest thing. But like even like the chances of onside kicks were so slim. Like what, five
Yeah,
percent?
but man, we won a Super Bowl off of that.
No, I agree. I don't know. The NFL is just kind of nerfing itself up one thing at a time every year. So I don't know what to
We'll
make of
see.
it.
That's all I got, brother.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else we didn't touch on. Biggest flop NFL team. Who you got?
I want to say the Bills, but I actually think the Bills stay alive. Biggest flop.
Player, team, whatever you're
Dude,
thinking.
the Lions could actually flop. 1 year wonder. Everybody kind of, catches up a little bit. Um, team,
What
quarterback.
about what about the Jets? Very polarizing.
Yeah, very could flop. Could be very good. Let's go through the list real quick. Let me see. I think the Cowboys could like just completely unravel because it's been years of winning 12 plus games and then you're not getting there and then you unravel. Um, I think Russell Wilson would completely flop in Pittsburgh.
You think he's just completely done?
He's washed. He's a washer machine. The dude, the no, I think the Texans will be good. Actually, I'm not gonna say that. Hmm, no expectations there. The Eagles could flop, dude. They had a very bad end to their season.
Eagles, I could see it.
Yeah, let's go Eagles as my flop candidate. Kirk Cousins and the Falcons, they're used to flopping all the
Yeah, I
time.
don't I don't get the Falcons hype. I mean, use the top 10 pick on a player that's not going to play. Like I don't know. Well, what's so great? Oh, Raheem Morris, really? He's that guy. I don't really know what the appeal is with Atlanta. That's so great. I think the whole NFC South is just one big turd sandwich. So um,
Yeah, and then it's all about who's going to come out as the top shit.
the top shit. Yep, exactly. Do you know a team that like no one's talking about? Like I don't think I've heard like one national thing or like one. It's actually Tampa. No one's literally talked about Tampa at
Yeah,
all.
yeah, because Tampa was good last year. Almost made it to the NFC Championship game. Baker Mayfield, he has his own theme song now, and Baker's kind of rejuvenate. Like I wanted people were yelling at me when I said I wanted Baker 2 3 years ago because he led the Browns to their first playoff win since fucking the 1990s. Uh, So I mean, good for Baker. We'll see what happens with them. They've been consistent. I hate to say it. I hate the Bucks, but they've been consistent. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what Todd Bowles is as a coach. Like, is he good? Is he average? I don't know. I don't think he's bad per se, but is he like? I don't know. I can't get a read on that guy. Like sometimes
Yeah.
there'll be like weeks when you're like, this dude should go, and then there'll be like other times you're like, wow, this dude's one of the best coaches in the NFL. So I don't
I
non-consistent or
think I think
just
he's
consistent enough. I don't know.
yeah, I think he's not bad, if that makes sense. Um, I just think he's there.
Yeah, he's just like a figurehead kind of coach. Like,
Yeah.
but all right, Saints. I'm going out of town. So Saints Panthers score predictions. What do we got?
Mean to 14.
Panthers, right?
Saints.
No, I got 21-17 Saints.
I could say 23-16 is gonna be something weird.
16 or two touchdowns. They both go for it twice. I could
Yeah.
see it. I could see it. I could see the Saints flopping. I could see it.
I
I don't
could
know.
see so many options. Dude,
I have no
I'm like
expectations.
I'm like Doctor Strange right now, dude, with the Saint season. There's like 1,000 different scenarios that could play out.
Doctor Strange.
But there's zero they win.
Dude. Yeah, by week 5, I'll just be like, okay, I'll be numb to it all. I'll be like that super well from the boys, that superhero is like watching a movie and it's just like, you know, what I'm talking about that meme.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
talking about.
that's what I'm gonna be like. So, but yeah, I got nothing else.
I'm trying to
Apart
find
from
this
that,
Baker Mayfield, the song that they've been playing for Baker
oh no,
Mayfield.
no, do not play music on this pod.
Hold on, hold on. Is
You got
this it?
5 seconds.
Oh yes, it's Brain Stew.
I can't wait.
It's
Yeah,
very
man.
fitting for Baker. Very fitting.
Is it Tiki Taki?
Yeah,
Classic.
the China site that you refuse to download.
I'll never download. I'm a grown man. But all
I'm a
right.
man. I'm 40.
Exactly. All right. Well, appreciate you guys tuning in. If you can like and subscribe, we'd really appreciate it. And who dat? Go Tigers. Go Tulane. Go UL.
Go away, brother.
Everything in between.
Yee-yee.
So
Yee-yee.
yeah, we're winning it all. So all right. See you guys next time.